What is up, guys? Back in today with another reaction to Berserk, this time in volume 41, the final couple chapters, Leaping Monkey and Tears of Morning Dew. Again, I usually relate Dew to like being, again, mostly from Pokemon, being like a, something to do with like souls, and kind of bringing things back to life and such, I think. And I'm not 100% sure about that, but we'll just recap what we went through in the last couple chapters here. Skull Knight, of course, coming through. Let's see that. We also did see the master of the witch that does look like Jessie. Is it Jessie Jane? I forget. There that is on the right there. But yeah, this witch here, we saw her master, who ended up being your classical kind of looking witch, didn't she? I quite liked her. What was her name? Granny Vol. Yeah, I actually quite like this woman. She seemed pretty cool. And yeah, she had this to say at the end. This means the old man's dreamy nonsense is finally coming to pass. Like, who is this old man, do you reckon? Another wizard, you imagine, but again, not really sure. But yeah, we saw this guy who reminded us quite a bit of Godo. This guy who created the Berserker armor. And he also created Skull Knight's new armor as well. Pushing his buttons. But yeah, lots of throwbacks in general. Like even just like things like this. Like this reminds us of Mozgus's men. Yeah, some beautiful artwork as well. With old God Hand, which I thought was really cool. Again, I haven't read the comments for last week's video. Of course, I record these in advance, so be very interested to hear what you guys have to say about the theories and such with Skull Knight's wife. I guess this is very beautiful woman, isn't she? But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what we're going to be covering today. Do let me know what you guys think about this one in the comment section. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you guys would like, and subscribe to the channel if you do want to keep up to date. And let's get straight into it. I'm sure of it. That was an eclipse. Yeah, if you remember the first eclipse, it was like a vortex, wasn't it? Looking like a vortex from like the outside. Tornado. Is he the same as me? Again, we heard very early on in the story, Skull Knight was like, yeah, don't end up like me. I feel like Skull Knight was always like a what if of like Guts, if you know what I'm saying. Like Guts could end up being a Skull Knight. I've always thought that anyway. I've always thought like Guts could end up on the same path as Skull Knight for sure. Like his vengeance overtakes him so much. Even when he turns into a skeleton, like dies, it's like he's still roaming, searching for Griffith and such, and it's just very similar to how Skull Knight is, even though we don't really know much at all about Skull Knight. It just feels that way. I think a lot of people think that as well. What's this hollow? A mausoleum. At the root of this spirit tree, His Majesty's Sir Knight's former lover lies buried. Oh shit, really? Look at this little one. Little chubby boy. Wow, okay. This is his wife's grave. Lovely grave, honestly. All these cute little berries and beautiful flowers around. Well maintained. Is that a tombstone there? Like, imagine what face he'd be making here if he actually had a face, if you know what I'm saying. Skull Knight is just like, it's always just Skull Knight, isn't it? Well, it's just a skull. But I don't know. I can imagine he'd be quite emotional. I feel bad for him, man. Again, we feel your pain a bit, Skull Knight. Are you here this time to visit the grave of the Lady Maiden of the Cherry Blossoms, Sir Knight? She looks like her. She does, I said that last week. They do look quite similar. That moment I touched the armour, I saw her too. Danan is the very image of that woman. Yeah, very similar. Not exactly the same, but very similar. That is a beautiful shot, that, isn't it? This is how you draw a woman. Again, I've been watching One Piece a lot recently, and you guys know my thoughts on the designs of the women in One Piece. I'm not a big fan. It's just the same shit. Just big boobs, smallest waist you've ever seen, skinny as fuck. Almost all of them look exactly the same except for the hair color. It's I'm not a big fan. I like when they switch up. Like one of my favorites is Perona, just because I mean she's in a similar vein. Don't get me wrong, but she's like she's not just classic One Piece design woman. Perona, One Piece. I like her voice actor a lot as well. Yeah, she's just different. Like the eyes, especially. I like Perona quite a bit. Again, you could say she looks very similar to a lot of the characters as well, but it's a big enough difference to me. But yeah, that's one of my main complaints with the. That being one of my main complaints is like it's not a massive complaint because the actual characters of the women are pretty good for the most part. A lot of them do share kind of similar. Well, that similar thing as like the fan service stuff, which yeah, again you guys know I'm not a massive fan of, but as actual characters, they're pretty good for the most part. A lot better than a lot of other anime story wise and such. But yeah, design wise, I'm not the biggest fan. Don't get me wrong, they all look good, but they all look the same kind of good. If that makes sense. Whereas in Berserk, here you get quite a variation of women. Don't get me wrong, a lot of these women always have big boobs as well, so it's just like yeah. So not every what these manga authors and such need to realize is not every woman in the world has big boobs. I mean, again, it's the most popular fan service, so why wouldn't you? But what is this shot right here, by the way? I think I speak enough about how I'm not a big fan of fan service, but yeah, I'll just leave it there. What is going on here, by the way? Like, I am a harbinger of calamity, a ruin of love and hate, forever bound for one place. I have no desire to bask in the afterglow of bygone days. Maybe you wouldn't be looking too sad. I was going to say, like, maybe it's just been that long. And there's emotions that kind of drawn out and such that maybe you can't really like emote or anything, even if he did have a face. Why does Danan look like a lot younger in this shot? Of love and hate. A ruin of love and hate. When he says ruin, again, I might be getting misconstrued. Like, I ruin as in like you ruin something, you make something bad, or is it like a ruin as in like a stone ruin, like a pillar of love and hate? Or well, I think maybe it's both. Maybe he stands for it, and he ruins love and hate. Interesting that. An old ruin. Now let us be going, lest we intrude. Excuse me, great guru. Exactly what sort of connection is there between my mistress and that Skull Knight? In her youth, your mistress Flora was one of the sorceresses who served the Lady Maiden. In those days, the two of them were quite attached. But those feelings were too strong. After that disastrous day, the black sun shone upon the world. So Flora was there. Wait. You're telling me Flora was alive and Skull Knight was at Skull Knight's, when Skull Knight went through the eclipse initially? I guess, yeah, the time perception and stuff is different in these magical places and stuff, so okay. You served the Lady Maiden, who I imagine is the woman that Skull Knight was married to, but I could be wrong about that, so apologies. My friend Flora violated a taboo, and hence she was banished from the village and left the island. A taboo, huh? A taboo? Go, her. Shirka, finally found you. Ivalira. Ah, you kidnapping delinquent girl. Are you trying to turn our Shirka into a hot rodder? No idea what that is. What happens if she starts talking about turbo brooms? Wait, this is no time for that. Shirka, you got to do something about the monkey, Isidro. Anyway, just come on. We're having some interesting conversation there. Come on. Fucking Ivalira. There's no time for that. We've got to deal with the monkey boy in this perfectly safe environment. Come on, Ivalira. Hey, what's this? Could be interesting. Be back by dinner time. So, what in the world is it? It's not as if Isidro's ever not up to something. At this rate, the village is doomed. There. Ah! What's he doing? No! Untie me! What's going on here? He appears. I call it the Witch Pumpkin Bundle. Behold my skills. You finally decided to show up. Shirka. What is this shot right here? I like it. Villainous Isidro. What's he doing? Is he just tying up girls? Is that what he's doing here? Oh dear, Isidro. Come on, we really left that for this? Oh man. Into Isidro's villain arc, where he's banished from this island. Shirka, please do something about your companion. We came into the forest to gather medicinal herbs and he suddenly jumped us. Just getting even for that beating, just getting even for that beating you gave me. I'm a man who doesn't forget disgrace. I repay twofold violence to men and humiliation to women. Look at all, he's got like all the Dragon Balls, like all the pucks on his side as well. Look at this. Every puck. Evil little creatures. Here they are, more detailed in this shot right here as well. Yeah, he fits in quite well with the little fairy elf things, doesn't he? After that long training journey and my crash course on this island, I finally come up with a new killer technique. Now I'm going to test it out on you. She'll get you like she always does. Again with the immaturity. You truly never learn. It's because you have really put me through the ringer. Fallen to the dark side you have. You'll dance for me, just like them. All silly and clumsy. So I've people. I don't really watch much Star Wars. I've watched the original 3 and I've watched the prequel 3. I've watched what was it? I watched the newer 3. I watched the newer 2. I watched the newer 2 out of the 3. I forget what they're called. like The Last Jedi or whatever. I didn't really. They were just like they felt like nothing. I felt nothing watching them. I'm a little. Again, I'm not a massive fan of Star Wars whatsoever. I like the original three. I quite like the prequel three as well. They weren't bad. They weren't nearly as bad as people make them out to be. I quite like them. Where is it? Yeah, The Last Jedi. I've seen that one. I don't think I've seen The Rise of Skywalker. I've seen The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi was the last kind of main one I watched because it wasn't great. Again, I just kind of didn't feel anything. I haven't watched Solo. I haven't. There's so much, and I'm talking about this because they got. What is this? Jedi junkies. Porno. Is the one I'm talking about. Rogue One. Honestly, this is my favorite Star Wars movie. Rogue One. I've only watched it once. I've only watched all of these once, but this is my favorite. Honestly, I thought this was actually really good. Might sound a bit blasphemous. I played a few of the games. I remember specifically playing those two. The Force Awakens, is it? I forget. It's the one where you kind of like play as someone from the dark side. He's got two games. I thought they were pretty good actually. I played the original Xbox and I think GameCube Star Wars games. I remember one of them. I can't remember which one it's called, but I remember one of them especially being just amazing. Play around with my cousins. Never owned it, but I used to play around with my cousins and it was sick. But yeah, I'm talking about this because the new series came out. I can't remember what it's called, but I've seen clips of it and it looks disastrous. But I'm just like saying, like, everything that seems to come from Star Wars nowadays is just crap. But again, I haven't watched all of it, but just like the reception to it is always just it's crap. I wonder why that is. Why? It's kind of sad with stuff like this. They just go like it's like starts out as something like a masterpiece and heralded by everyone, and then it's just like gets commercially turned into just a steaming pile of shit that they just take money from here and there. It's like, yeah, we'll turn this into gold and just they're guaranteed to make money because of the name. There's lots of stuff like this. Lots of stuff like this. It's a massive shame. To be fair to you guys, I think I've actually had more fun with some of the Family Guy Star Wars episodes than I did the recent kind of main movies. But yeah, I've seen clips from the TV series that's airing recently, and it doesn't look great. Acting, especially, like maybe they again go back to like Rogue One, just make something quite simple. Go back to simple times. But again, I'm not too interested, so I don't really. It's interesting talking about, but I don't really actually care too much. Like I see how they handle like Resident Evil nowadays is handled beautifully. I think with the whole all remakes. Resident Evil 3 remake. I haven't played that, but I've watched it, and that one wasn't. I'm not going to play it just because it looks like all the assets are the same as Resident Evil 2 remake. Might as well play Resident Evil 2 remake, honestly. But yeah, that series is handled beautifully. Whereas I look at other horror games, like the Silent Hill series, for example, that one really hasn't been handled great. Like it's really hard to play any of the older games, and a lot of the newer ones are just quite shit. But let's pray for. Well, I say let's pray for Silent Hill 2 remake. It looks good. They're getting a lot of hate, but it looks good in my opinion. Backgrounds, the vibe looks good. Looks pretty. Like I don't really like the fighting. It's never been good in Silent Hill games. It's always been quite crappy and just like yeah, it's never been fantastic. So I don't really care too much about that part. It doesn't look great gameplay wise, but again, don't really care about that. I'd say gameplay, combat wise, again, don't really care about that too much. I'm not too fussed over the character designs either. I think the character designs are actually pretty nice as well. But a lot of people have been hating on that. I don't really understand why. Like, I'm really looking forward to it. But it's a shame because I play an Xbox, so I most likely won't have access to it, which sucks ass. I hate stuff like that. It's fucking. Yeah, PlayStation. I know it should have never changed. I had a PlayStation 3 and then I changed to Xbox 360 and Xbox One. I wish I just kept playing on PlayStation, but I just really don't like the PlayStation remotes. I much prefer the Xbox remotes. I think they're much better. That's the main reason I did switch. Yeah, hopefully that'll come to Xbox at some point. I doubt it, but if not, I guess I'll just have to. I don't know. Nothing I can do. Sucks ass. Right, let's get back to this. It's not like many of the games were on Silent Hill games are on Xbox anyway. I think there's like one or two of the newer ones, but even so, just for kind of massive shame. There used to be a time where Xbox used to have quite a few really good kind of exclusives, but nowadays I don't think we have any really. We won't give in to a savage like you. Sorry, sorry for that. There's some creepy ass faces here. Sure, these faces, again, side point here, remind me of this game called Manhunt. I never played it. My cousin owned it. But the cover art, like he had most of my horror experience came from going around my nanny's. My cousin lived there, and he had loads of horror movies. He had that whole Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. He had Creepshow. That was one of the first horror movies I did. Well, not one of the first I ever watched, but one of the ones that really got me into horror. It's Creepshow 1 and 2. I watched around there. He had lots of stuff like that. Donnie Dark, I remember watching for the first time, and obviously as a kid, I didn't understand that whatsoever. I didn't overly enjoy it too much when I first watched because again I was like 10 or something. Didn't really. Well, I still don't really understand it now, to be honest with you. But yeah, he had this game, and I never played it just because it looked a bit too scary. There was a few Friday the 13th movies I didn't watch because the cover looked too scary as well. Funny enough, the ones I did watch actually ended up like being the best in the franchise, like 4, like 4 and is it 6, 6 or 7, 6 I think. But yeah, this game was massively controversial, I think. So it's probably best I didn't play it because I think it was like banned in a load of like many horror games have been banned. Don't get me wrong, but this one was like banned for like terrible things. It was like GTA but brutal, I think. I still haven't ever played it. Oh, it was banned in the UK apparently. But yeah, I swear my cousin had this on like GameCube, or I swear it was like on Wii or something. I don't know. It looked like it came out a lot earlier than the Wii days, but I swear I like played it on Wii or something like that. I don't know. It was also that was the thing. Apparently, it was the inspiration for a set of like murders or something in the UK. But like, I think I looked into that, and it was just like the person that killed these people. I think he said like it was the inspiration and so on, but in reality, it was just like a murder, like a normal murder. I think. But yeah, I was always quite scared of that. It definitely wasn't outright banned in the UK, especially not to begin with. Like I said, I'm pretty sure my cousin owned a copy. It doesn't look like. I think I've seen playthroughs of it now, and it doesn't look like a lot of. It looks alright, but it doesn't look like much fun. Maybe it's just because we watch it with our nowadays kind of lenses on, but it just looks like a classic kind of like bit of a GTA style, kind of like more beat 'em up and brutal, less interesting and fun. Yeah, let's get back to it though. Nope, I'll block those dangerous mouths of yours. Take this, elf shot. Oh, Kaz away. Wah! Go on, Pucks. Creepy ass Pucks. Followed by And here come the bags. I love that there's always that little escape hole for the pucks to get out of. It was an absolute ruckus here. Stylish tie-off. Dynamic and stylish tie-off. My bad. Pretty impressive, actually. Isidro has systematically taken down the whole of Elfhelm. Bags and a few elves, fairies. I always forget the terminology what to call them. Apologies, guys. I'm gonna call them fairies. You, da! He's quick, like some beast. You see that? Super three-dimensional attack. Oh, yeah, we've got some storm. Oh, we've got Jabba, and some stormtroopers now as well. Oh, look who it is. It's Palpatine, is it? Let us rule this island together with that power, Padawan. Didn't he? No, it's not. He didn't kill. Did he order? No, did he order Luke to kill the Padawan again? Oh, it's been a while. I forget. I don't even know if he ordered him to. He might have just done it himself. In this nutty forest where I weigh less, nobody will be able to catch me. Yeah, Jabba the Hutt was definitely a massive negative of those prequels, wasn't he? He wasn't actually as involved with us as I thought he would be, considering the amount of hate for him, but he's still like, every part with him is just kind of shit. That first movie. Is it the first one? There's a big portion. It might be the second one, honestly. The second one I remember being very boring. Maybe it was the second one, I don't know. Yeah, kind of all those prequels kind of like blend into one for me a little bit. I do especially like the scenes with the Grievous, like that movie. I think that might be the end of the second one. I like those scenes, for they're pretty cool. He's too well suited to this forest. We can't control him. You monkey, foe of woman, sex fiend. Hey boys, don't just stand there. Help out a little. Come on. I mean. Morda, you need to help too. Now nobody can stop him. He's on an absolute rampage. Got Morda tearing up a little bit here. Now then. The only one left is you, Shirker. Do something! I'm gonna get to watch you scream and bawl. What a delightfully vulgar face. Of course, I love this text with him as well. It's quite horror-esque text, quite villainous. Of course, what you'll be exposing is that kiddie pumpkin underwear. My Padawan is a master-class punk. Fine then. As your travelling companion, I'll brook no further wrongdoing. She'll scare you so bad you'll never even think of defying her again. I'll assume the responsibility of getting rid of you. Sorry, I did read that in the wrong order. Oh wow, you're a riot. You're so fragrant. You're so flagrant. I have to respect it. Is that so? It's just my wild nature. Must be the boobs. Boobs, huh? Can't tear his eyes away. Yes. The girls down there had similar boobs. They'd have trounced him. If the girls down there. Just need to mature a bit. Hey girls. A monkey to the end. Gotcha. Ooh, think again. He dodged? Oh, that's smarty pants. The worst part is he dodged looking like that. plenty of fucking Star Wars in this chapter, isn't there? Today I'm an outlaw. I won't fall for that old trick. Hey. You're way too slow to see through my after images. Is that what these are? After images. She is slow, you know. She's still looking there. Ugh, quit moving around. So quick. His movements and personality have become inhuman. Despicable works for me. Shirker, behind you. Go on, Asinjo. Bag her up. Oh, a frog tongue? This isn't that fucking old guru, is it? I hope not. I know, it is actually a frog. That guru does look like he would have a frog tongue. Why's the frog getting involved? Oh, I see. Oh, it's not a frog. It's one of these kelpie, is it? Oh, it's in the same vein of a kelpie. I don't know if it's actually a kelpie, but it looks similar. Oh, come on. I was hoping to see Shirker get bagged up. You guys playing tag? Looks like fun. One of us. Yeah, you guys are cousins. Let me join in too. Hey, you. That's a kelpie. It's dangerous. We just became friends. And clothes, you're naked. I was swimming and I'm an elf. It's normal. Boys, go away. Shoot. Look at this guy. Oh my god, look at all of them. Teenage boys, huh? That one's a friend, so don't eat him. Spit him out. Since he's already in there, suck on him till he loses his flavour. Ugh, that was a lot of liquids. That was a lot of liquids. You employed a kelpie? That's incredible, Isma. Like I said, we're friends. We're the best of pals now. But it looks quite nice here, actually. Okay, match your rhythm. 1, 2. I guess there's no escaping fate. 1, 2. 1, 2. I think they're like saying like breathe in, breathe out. Oh no, they're comboing. I thought they were saying to the boys because she is still naked. No, we're just getting even more punishment. Unlucky Asidra. At least got a little bit of payback. Line up. We'll take turns. 5 at a time. I'm glad you made so many witch friends, Shirker. Well, you know. Hey, Morda, where'd you fly off to with Shirker? Yes. This is a paradise for us magic users. Sunshine at the end of our journey. Go on, march. Oh no, the puck gang. There's one missing. Oh, I guess he's for the kelpie. Oh dear, arrested again. That's twice already while I've been here. I wouldn't be too surprised if we did get banned, honestly. Ugh, apologies, guys. Where they accept me the way I am. But in that case, why did my mistress leave this island? Well, again, she didn't leave, did she? She got banished. What taboo did she violate? Yeah, it'd be nice if we. I mean, that was a really fun segment. I like that a lot, but it'd be nice if we did get the answer to that. I would have much preferred the answer to that. Nice shot here. You and Sir Knight seem to be well acquainted. It ain't like that. Well, I do owe him a few. Like he's a bad luck skeleton who pops up wherever I'm headed and spouts off like some kind of prophet. He is not of this world. His state of mind differs from that of people. Only deep love and hate and endless fury are pushing him onward. So yeah, what is it with Guts? Is it a deep love that he sees someone of the same nature of him and wants to help? I don't think so. It's probably to aid his hate or fury, in my opinion. But again, who knows? I was thinking just now, like maybe he is helping Guts and such because he really just like doesn't want Guts to end up the way he is. Perhaps the reason he pays any attention to you at all is that he sees in you a reminder of how he once was. Oh, that's for sure. But again, is it to aid the love or hate is the question. While I appreciate the advice, tenacity is my strong suit. I can't tell whether he's dead or alive. He has no right to criticise me. All the more reason to discern at the verge of death whether your fury will breathe life into you or consume you like hellfire. Discern? Verge of death? That's all dandy. But on this breezy island, I've got nothing to do but take naps and swing this around. Oh fuck, look who it is. The Moonlight Boy. How'd you get here? And again, no one noticing. They were right on top of us as soon as we arrived at Elfhelm, but Skull Knight and this kid just get here willy-nilly. The Moonlight Boy. How's little Willy's out? That way, bro. Okay. Good chapter there. There's a lot of fun in there. Again, some more serious moments, of course, with Skull Knight and Guts, but I liked the lot of fun with Isidra there, wasn't there? Ah, interesting. Again, how is it that these comments have like almost double the amount of likes as the chapter? Danan is Skull Knight's daughter. That would make sense with a resemblance to his wife. Again, I'm saying wife. I'm not sure if it was actually his wife or his girlfriend or whatever. When I say wife, that would make sense. That would make sense. And the taboo must have been to grant Skull Knight life after mortal life in order to fulfill his grudge. Maybe. You know what? Some interesting, pretty good theories there actually. Yeah, I could see both of those being the case. I think they did say when we did have Shirka's mistress's stuff, I think they did say her and Skull Knight went way back, and obviously they mentioned it in today's chapter, the fact that she was there during the eclipse that Skull Knight went through. Interesting. Yeah, you would think that might be the case, like if it was that easy to bring someone back. But then again, she was a very powerful witch, so who knows? Who knows? Interesting. I think these are pretty good theories actually. I mean, we know that for a fact. What does this mean though? I'm assuming Griffith lets Guts' son come to being every form. What do you mean Griffith lets him? What does Griffith have to do with anything with the Moon Boy? Does Griffith have anything to do? What? People saying that Griffith Griffith is the Moonlight Boy, and people are seeming to agree with this. What the hell? Is that really the case? Oh, I see. It's not really Griffith. What would make more sense, like the way it would make more sense if it was said to me, was if it was the essence of the demon kid that Casca and Guts had inside Griffith transforming into this Moonlight Boy, perhaps, I think would be more accurate. It's not actually Griffith. More that essence of the kid that we know is in there and affecting Griffith in some way. We haven't seen much since, but we saw initially when Griffith and Casca, when Casca and Guts met Griffith near Godo's with the Grave of Swords, there was the influence from the kid of Casca and Guts, wasn't there? So yeah, I guess this is him, but again in Griffith's body that's changed into the Moonlight Kid. Perhaps. Okay. I'll get behind that. Yeah, I do wonder if it was a similar situation to Griffith, if it was just like a mass what's it called? A mass betrayal where it was I think it's probable that was Void's birth. I think that's quite probable, considering like the scenes we had of Void and Skull Knight seemed like they were like, yeah, there was maybe something behind that interaction again with the whole kind of dimension sword stuff when Skull Knight entered the eclipse that Guts was in. Perhaps that was Void's birth. Quite crazy. Like, I'm seeing comments from 2 years ago, which is kind of sad. Because 2 years ago, and there's only been 13 chapters since then. Kind of a big shame. Not too much else in the comment section, as you can tell. So yeah, let's move into the final chapter for today, which is Tears of the Morning Dew. Which I guess would kind of make sense. Like I said earlier about like spirits and kind of reviving stuff. I guess that would fit in with Skull Knight. That could also fit in with this Moonlight Boy, perhaps, as well. So, I guess we'll see. Is this like what the kid should have looked like then, do you reckon? Without the influence of Femto? You? How come you're here? Hey. What was he doing? Guts? We were just about to eat. Oh my god. I love this shot. Oh my god. Wow. I love how grumpy Guts looks in this shot here. It's not like his usual kind of like non-emotional face. It's like it's actually just like grumpy dad face right here. Have to look after the baby. Holy crap. I was like, oh shit, he's going in the position of where the armor kind of takes over for him. No, he's wanting to be a baby. And good. Good. He doesn't have to save us every fucking time we see the Moonlight Boy. Let's just have him being the baby he should be. That's really cute. I love this shot a lot. I like this shot a lot. One of my favourites recently, actually. It's not the most beautifully, like, it looks great, don't get me wrong, but it's not the most beautifully drawn compared to other scenes, but this is one of my favourites as of late, I think, right here. Where did he... Found him out there. You found him? He appears. Oh, still alive, Shorty? Oh, we saw you at my island. Did you swim here? Maybe he was stowed away. He's here on this island, then he must really be. You must be the Flower Storm Monarch, Danan. What? You took on that form and showed up where we went to watch over us on our journey. Oh, right. You were talking about that. I think this is Danan. I don't think so. Okay, now this chapter's actually, like, now I'm looking at it, this one's got a lot of likes. Like, more than double the last one. So I wonder what happens here. Is that true? Yes. Oh, really? Oh, yeah, really? What would you know, you layman? I understand you're wanting to mingle with the youngsters, but you can go too far in making yourself look young, Granny. You're embarrassing your relative here. Whom do you mean by Granny? I bought you a freshly baked pumpkin pie. Huh? Oh, how adorable. Who is this? Just tornado with petals. Yeah, wow, that's instantly proven that wrong, hasn't it? It's good. Don't you know this boy, Danan? He isn't from this island. You got it wrong. It's okay, Shirker. You looked pretty smug on the ship too, when you gave that opinion of yours. Little Shirker's at the age where she likes to show off. Is this payback for earlier? So pay. You two dimwits fail at showing off all the time. All the dimwits are showing off. And it's like, it's so... As a normal kid, you'd be terrified of guts. Seeing people be scared of guts. Like, this is... the only kids that would interact with guts like this are people in the crew. And even then they wouldn't, because they're not babies. But you've got to be the guy's son to be like this, I think. Do me a favour. Oh no. Come on, Guts. Take him upstairs so he can go see Casca. There we go, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. It's quite nice then, actually, isn't it? I mean, I know we don't get like keep our kid forever and such, but it's nice, like here right now, isn't it? That we've got Casca, Guts, and their son all together, a happy family. But again, there's those like surface level, it would be like nice happy family, but again, we know that he only shows up on full moon, and Casca still hasn't really gone fully over things. She's like 90% of the way there. Still, you've got to appreciate these moments, haven't you? Let's just appreciate it, because maybe this is as close to perfection as we can get, kind of family-wise and such, for Guts and Co. Maybe this is the peak. All right. She should recognise him, right? Some of the memories from Elaine. And he runs straight over to her. Again. Maybe this is as good as it gets, man. We need to drink in these moments right here. Maybe this is, well, like I said earlier, there's not many chapters left, so. Even more so, we need to drink in these chapters, perhaps. Bit of a slice of life at the minute. What are you doing here? You remember him, Casca? Yes, I remember. This boy who shows up on nights with a full moon. Full moon? Yes. During our journey, he'd suddenly... I think there is like a thing with... obviously, with a full moon, you think of like werewolves. Like, that's when the werewolves get released. I think there's like a thing of like during the witching hour, at like 3 to 4 a.m. in the morning, when there's like a full moon, that is like when there's the most kind of open pathway from the realm of death to the realm of humanity or something like that. I think that might be what goes on with like the full moon stuff and the boy. There's like that's when there's the most opportunity for the essence of Guts and Casca's son within Griffith to release himself. It's like the easiest opportunity, perhaps. During our journey, he'd suddenly appear before us on such nights, then disappear come morning. As usual, he sticks to Casca like glue. I was convinced that the elf ruler, that it was you, sorry, visiting in his form in order to evaluate us. It's true that I was informed regarding your journey, but that was by way of your teacher Flora's dream oracles. By my mistress? I did also hear about the events during the full moons, so this boy is the one. It's no wonder you had the wrong idea. That boy is no mere child of man. The odd of innocence surrounding him is very similar to that of us elves. The fact that he was able to reach this island, that's proof of no ill intent. He arrived here because the island's affinity guided him. The island's affinity? And when I say the island, that includes its inhabitants. In this case, the three of you, Shirka, Farnese and Casca. Us? You are obviously a magic user. Farnese wore my old clothes. And Casca wore elven hunting garb. Thus you three were able to become inhabitants of a sort here. Above all, everyone accepts the three of you. We've been accepted? And so your bond with this child led him here. He seems to have especially strong ties with Casca. Ah, I'm being slurped. This kind of feels familiar. I was going to say this. It's Elaine actions right there. Took some inspiration from his mother Elaine. And him. Yes. Yes, yes. Well, if it wasn't slightly obvious it was their son, well, I say that I had to be kind of informed a few times that it was most likely their son. I was always in the dark for a while. Yeah, this pretty much confirms it. And him. Why are we calling him him? Use my proper pronouns. Guts. Okay, and the morning is here and he's still here, which is strange. Maybe it's because when he usually does show up during moonlit nights, it's usually to save us. So maybe he like uses up a lot of his odd or something, saving us, and he has to like go back and recharge or something. I don't know. But he's still here in the morning. Morning. Good morning. That was a good morning workout. Oh, what gives? It's morning and you didn't vanish this time. Indeed. Maybe a perception of time as well, perhaps, here. That's just actually because it's been less time outside than it has been in here. I don't know. Could be a few things. Well, time flows sort of uniquely here on the island. Here you go, freshly baked bread. You're practically the neighbourhood caretaker. She does a lot, doesn't she? Danan. For a few days here at least, it'll be the night of a full moon in the outside world. Maybe he'll get to be with you for a while. Isn't that great, Casca? Yeah. It's quite amazing, isn't it? Like, Isidro could become a master swordsman here if he wanted to, really. Spend a few years here, which would be like 2 months outside, and become like a master. That's dangerous. Again, it's like a bit of a slice of life manga at the minute, isn't it? I'm liking it though. Mushroom Man. The Golems. Oh, look at this one. Got the head of a puck. Little rat. A couple of rats. And this guy, who looks a lot... this is based off something, this guy, because... So yeah, just before I sneezed there, apologies. He looks a lot like Nemon from Digimon Frontier, which I didn't actually watch all of. I mostly know this guy from the Rumble Arena 2 game for PlayStation 2. I used to play a lot. But yeah, that's definitely like an inspiration from something, because they look very much alike. Such an ordinary child. Who knows what his story is? I can't sense even an ounce of malice from the child. The elves aren't wary either. See how they take to him? For now, let's keep a close watch. The vibes here really are fantastic, aren't they? Little picnic. Oh, apologies, guys. Got some fishing. Got some riding. That must be pretty fun, actually. Like riding a dolphin, I could imagine. See Joe a bit. Well, I don't know why he's naked, because he went in the water probably, but he's a little bit jealous of the pampering perhaps. And then just in the back. How peaceful. Yes. It was true before too, but those two fit so well together. It's kind of sad, honestly, because we get to spend so much time together now. It just, because time flows even slower here, it's going to be even longer until we see him again, probably. And because we spent so much time with him, it'll be even sadder as well. So, like an actual mother and child. I'm sure being with him will help heal the wounds in Casca's heart. For that matter, with all of us living under the same roof like this, we already seem like one big family. A family. But no guts. Then that's quite symbolic, that, isn't it? His sword slipping out of his hand, being kind of disarmed by the loveliness and the nature of this place. Like literally being disarmed by the nature of this place, this waterfall. Literally being disarmed by it. And I think it like throws out a throwing star and seemingly misses. Perhaps it's his body as well. It looks like his body after the armor. It's interesting stuff like steroids and such, isn't it? It makes you stronger, and it makes you. Well, I don't know if it actually makes you stronger. I don't really know too much about all that stuff. But what I imagine with performance enhancing drugs is like they improve you for a short period of time, maybe while you take them for like a year or so, perhaps, and then like after that, you're just like you can't do sport or anything without them again. I imagine you become reliant on it, as it looks like Guts is here with his armor. I guess I still can't manage without this. Get that thing off. That's dangerous, that is. That would be quite funny to see him use it though. Get off that though. Oh shit. He's running away with it. Hey. This kid is so cute, isn't it? Here. What, you think you're a knight? I guess he just wants to take after his dad, doesn't he? The natural thing for most boys. Oh ho! Hey, look, they're even having our first little sword fight. What is it with you anyway? Also, just kind of a little bit fucked up to that is like if it is like Griffith, it's like he's playing with Griffith like this. That's kind of fucked up to think about. But again, it's not actually. Hey, shorty. It's snack time. Come on out. Go spend time with her. My guts goes hide behind the fucking tree. Sad, isn't it? Being like this feels completely natural. I remember the sense of nostalgia then. That moonlit beach where I first met him. No, I knew him from even before that, as Elaine. Affection. Sadness. But where from? Yes. Yes. From here. Yeah, well, the more we see this guy, the cuter he does get as well. Give him a little head pat. It's the demon child. And he's gone. Oh, he's still here. Yeah. What's going on? Why is everyone so shocked right now? Casca? I was dreaming. On the night of the full moon. On the night of the full moon, I'd become a small child and find myself embraced by nostalgic warmth. Oh my god, it's even more fucked up. I said how fucked up it is with like Griffith, being Griffith, but holy shit. He's actually So is he like conscious as Griffith during these moments? Like, what goes on here? So I don't think this goes against what I said here, does it? I feel like this is still the little demon boy spending time with Guts and Casca. And I don't actually think Griffith is conscious, because he said here he spends his nights dreaming. He's embraced by nostalgic warmth, so I guess it just feels like a dream to him while his like body's in this state of this young child. And obviously now I guess he's had too good a time, he spent too long here, so he actually reverts back before before he gets a chance to kind of not be shown as Griffith. Like usually he goes away before he turns back into Griffith. Now he spent a bit too long having fun here, so timing as well played a bit of an issue perhaps in terms of the flow of time. But this is fucked. Like, what would you now think of this kid knowing that it is Griffith as well? Would they spend time with him like they did just now? I'm not sure. Like, how would Guts feel about this? Like, this is majorly fucked up, this is. But when I wake from the dream, all that remains is a faint sense of loneliness. I guess that's why they were shocked, because they heard the voice of Griffith and the hair turning white from the top here, I think. What is Casca gonna be like when she sees Griffith? Damn, he's got him crying. So he does know what happens being a Moonlight Kid, but like I said, I feel like it feels like a dream for him. He's experiencing it, but he's not actually experiencing it, if that makes sense. But because he knows about it, it's certain that the actual kind of kid of Guts and Casca is the kind of main influence to the Moonlight Kid, right? I think that too soon fades away, along with a single tear, like morning dew. Damn. So that's the demon kid. His tear of sadness, knowing that he has to leave Guts and Casca at the end of the night, is it? That's really sad, that is. And as much as it's Griffith on my screen right now, who we all hate, it's actually really sad. That kind of make me feel a bit emotional with it. Seeing the kid, again, just knowing that he can't ever really spend a good amount of time now, but can't spend a normal amount of time with his parents. Like, knowing that he has to go back to being inside of Griffith, shedding that last tear before he goes back to that unemotional bastard. Damn. Well, looks like perhaps the author Miura has died at this point, so rest in peace. What is that? 60, 50? Really? 55? 55, really? I don't know if this is like disrespectful or not, but I want to see what he died of at age 55. I've mentioned this plenty of times. The manga industry for these authors and such, I got a really good look at that in the Ocean Echo episode that aired this week, which was a couple weeks ago for you guys now. And just the sheer workload these guys go through is ridiculous. I think they said like it's not uncommon whatsoever that they do like 16-hour days. It's ruthless. Kentaro Miura, cause of death. Aortic dissection. The aorta, where is that? It's near the heart, right? I think. Is that a vessel or a vein in the heart? I forget. I don't know. I studied acute aortic dissection on May the 6th, 2021. At 54, actually, not 55. What is acute aortic dissection then? It's an acute process in which a tear in the internal face of the aorta leads to dissection through the lamina. Lots of things I understand. And formation of a new An acute drop in systematic blood pressure. So it's like, so it's a tear. I think it's like a major, I don't know if it's like an artery or whatever it's called. Like, I think it's like a vessel or something from your heart, like a major, one of the players that flows blood around your body. So there was a tear in it. So that's what killed him. How does that happen to you? High blood pressure, perhaps? Stress, probably. Ah, inherited, perhaps. Oh, okay. Yeah, and high blood pressure and stress doesn't help. That sucks. Rest in peace, man. Was this the last chapter by him then? Or was it just before this one, perhaps? I don't know. Either way, rest in peace. You've got me reading manga. Is the thing, Mr. Miura. If you listen in some manner. You made me someone who I've never really read much in my life. I don't really care too much for reading because I'm bad with mental images. Obviously, manga remedies that, but I always prefer anime because of moving images and just like the songs and sounds and production around it. Voice acting is always just better, in my opinion. I think just for me, anime is always just better. Like, I always much prefer to watch an anime adaptation of something, but obviously the fact that this isn't mostly adapted in anime is one of the major reasons I've read this. But the reason I continue to read this, as well as Nana, is because both are just absolutely fantastic works. Like, you can't really get me reading any other manga, I don't think. I'm not a big fan, but I'm a massive fan of this. So, very talented guy, and obviously he's going to have a. That's the great thing. Even though he is dead, he will always live on, if that makes sense, through his work, which I think is always a fantastic thing. For artists, especially. To all fans, thank you so much for enjoying Berserk and for giving it your ongoing support. Tears of Morning Dew, the final installment printed in volume 41, is the last manuscript that Miura personally inked before his death. Wow, and you know what? I said I felt quite emotional at this. Holy crap, that makes it even more emotional. that makes it even more emotional. Like, holy crap, man. What a beautiful last chapter to go out on. Holy shit. Does make you feel. Does really make you feel, doesn't it? Holy crap. The members of the studio Gaga, who for many years have created Berserk alongside Mr. Miura, worked to their utmost to complete that manuscript, resulting in the publication of this manga volume. You know what? I wouldn't have even been too mad if this was the final chapter, honestly. I would have actually thought this was actually quite a nice place to end out on. As much as, again, I can imagine some fans absolutely would have hated the fact that it ends on a shot of Griffith crying, but again, that's not actually Griffith shedding that tear, it's actually the kid, I think. From my understanding, again, I could be wrong. With so many pieces of information still pending, we are grateful to you for waiting for so long. As for what will become of the manga from here, we apologise that, as of now, this is still yet to be decided. As we consider what to do moving forward, we feel a keen sense of just how outsized for us this story of Berserk that Mr. Miura spent over 30 years producing is. Much like Guts' sword in that respect. Yep. It weighs a lot. It's a heavy undertaking for sure. We at Young Animal have had a hand in producing Berserk over the years. If there's one thing we can say, it's that as we move forward, we will always take into account first and foremost what Mr. Miura would have thought. Finally, to all domestic and international fans, we've read the gratitude in all the letters that you've sent. We'd like to thank you once again for all your enduring, profound love. Young Animal Editorial Department, December 2021. Damn. This is it, hey? This is it. There's Puck and the Hellet. Oh, there's a coloured version there. Looks wonderful. So yeah, that was the final Final chapter from Miura, hey? To be honest, again, that was a beautiful chapter to go out on. Like, holy shit. I think like that it's quite poetic. Do you reckon he knew this was coming or something? Because again, it just seems like so poetic. Yeah, let's read some comments. Yeah, first comment. Let's read some comments before we finish off today. Yeah, like I said the exact same thing. I read that wrong. Yeah, this is really nicely coloured here, actually, isn't it? I like that. Rest in peace, man. Oh man, well, I'm not going to go through all the comments because a lot of them are just paying respects. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Yeah, of course we've still got chapters left after this. With I think we've got about 10, right? 12 chapters, so we'll have 6 more videos left after this. So hopefully you guys will stay tuned for that. It's again after that, I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing. Obviously Berserk will be finished, but I'm not sure if like I'll probably just read a chapter close to when it releases. Whenever I hear that a new chapter comes out, if there is new chapters coming out, that is, I will watch them on the channel. Again, I'll discuss that at a later date, but once we get to the end again, that'll just be kind of it until I imagine there might be a month or 2 or 3 wait per chapter, or maybe even longer. So yeah, you might have to bear with me for those, but it has been an absolutely wild ride. It does actually feel like the end of a journey already, doesn't it? Yeah, like I've said many times, I don't think I could actually thought of a better way to go out on than the chapters we covered today. Do let me know what you guys thought about this these chapters in the comment section though. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you guys did like, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date. I'll be back next week with the first 2 chapters of non-Miura Berserk, so we'll see how that goes, and have a good rest of your day, guys.